Hey guys, what's up? This is 8-Bit Eric. Today I'm going to review Rise of the Tomb Raider on Xbox One. Now, I was provided this as a review copy by Microsoft themselves, and I didn't know what to expect. It's been a while since I've played Tomb Raider, and I know that they've recently rebooted the series to be a little bit more of an RPG-ish, realistic movie cinematic masterpiece. I don't even know how to describe it, but it looks a lot more complex than what the series was originally created as. So, you play as Lara Croft, and you are actually on a quest for an ancient city that has a relic that has some kind of importance to you. Now, I'm not going to spoil anything, but in the long run, there is an organization that is after the exact same thing as you, and the story becomes pretty engaging. It's kind of Indiana Jones-ish with a little bit of James Bond type of over-dramatic acting and action scenes. It's really intense. I was highly impressed as far as the story goes, the cinematic structure of the cutscenes go, the voice acting is on par. I was entranced. When I put this game into the Xbox One and pushed start and started playing it, I literally played this game for 12 hours straight, and I'm not overemphasizing or over-exaggerating. I played Rise of the Tomb Raider for over 12 hours straight when I first started it, and I was entertained the entire time. Me personally, it takes a lot for a game to catch my attention that much, but what really got my attention was how easy the gameplay is. It reminded me a lot of the Arkham games. Okay, so hear me out. Like, the way that Lara Croft controls, the way that you hook onto walls, the way that you climb, the way that you can basically parkour on any ledges, and the way that the battle system is, where you can be stealthy, or you can use your tools, or you could just go in guns blazing. The core concept of the game reminded me a lot of the Arkham games. Also, the engine of the game, the graphics of the game, the weapons that you could find, the looting, it reminded me a little bit of Resident Evil 4. So, in my opinion, Rise of the Tomb Raider plays like if Arkham and Resident Evil 4 had like a hybrid Lara Croft baby. And to me, that was not a bad thing. I think that the engine and gameplay core mechanics of Rise of the Tomb Raider are very solid. As I mentioned, the sound is awesome. Voice acting is fantastic. The music captures the atmosphere. Everything about Rise of the Tomb Raider just has this majestical feel. Like, you really feel like you're going to be on an adventure, and the sound caught that perfectly. The graphics, just beautiful. I was impressed with the way that the character animations looked, the way that the environments looked. These are some of the most wondrous environments that I've ever seen in a game. I really would take my time when exploring to appreciate the scenery, from the details in the plants, to the animals, to the, mountains in the distance, to the way the water looked. Fantastic. Very well done. This game does have a lot of, I guess, RPG-like elements as far as upgrading your skills. You gain experience points for when you accomplish certain missions, tasks, kill people, hunt, all sorts of things to get experience points in this, and they go towards upgrading your skills. Now, these could be something as simple as being able to take more damage, being able to shoot people, being able to have stronger melee attacks, and yeah, so that's where I get the whole Arkham comparison, because the upgrading system seems a lot like that, and it seems like a lot of games are starting to do that. You can also upgrade your weapons. There's also all sorts of weapon crafting abilities. You could make darts, you can make arrows that you can jump on. You fire them into the wall. You use them to climb platforms. You can make exploding arrows, poisonous arrows. You can craft better equipment for your guns. All sorts of, arsenal badassery that Lara Croft can use to her advantage. You start off the game barely powered up enough to be able to get through some of the early areas, and you'll see that there's areas that you can't really access because you don't have a certain item or a certain ability. That's where the upgrading system comes in. There's a lot of backtracking, and this game is not, I wouldn't call it open world. It's actually semi-open, because you're kind of closed in and limited to where you can go at certain points of the game, but in my opinion, that's what makes it interesting, because you see a natural progression as opposed to just being able to go wherever you want. You see that one tomb that you couldn't get to at the beginning of the game. Well, hey, when you're almost done with the game, you have a better hook, better equipment. Guess what? You can go back and complete that, which that leads me to my next point. Tons of content. Story mode aside, there's tons of side quests. There's NPCs that can give you fetch quests, side missions, send you off to go do something. And there's several challenge tombs throughout the actual game that make exploration just that great. I mean, Tomb Raider is about raiding tombs, right? The storyline aside is something else that you could go back to. Conquering all the challenging tombs, getting certain artifacts, certain relics, certain stuff to read about additional insight in the story is a plus. I definitely was not disappointed in Rise of the Tomb Raider. If you're new to the series, I recommend checking this out. I don't think you really need to play the previous Tomb Raider to understand what's going on. However, that would be nice too. Rise of Tomb Raider, currently on Xbox. I think it's a timed exclusive. So if you have an Xbox, go for it. If it comes out on the other platforms, I highly recommend it as well. But right now, definitely impressed with Xbox One's Rise of the Tomb Raider. Very awesome title. I would give this title a 9 out of 10 because of the amount of replayability that I had, the amount of fun that I had, the storyline. Everything was really engaging. Honestly, one of the best games that I've played in a long time. And it's probably in my top 10 games of the year. Very easily. And that's it for today's review, guys. Thank you a lot. As always, rate, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Peace out.